All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Dark,
Season 1, Episode 10. The season finale. I'm scared. I'm concerned. I'm worried. I'm excited. I'm sure this will go just great. Nobody's gonna die. Nobody's gonna be brutally hurt or lost or left in the past. No, it's all good.
Yeah. We actually have a couple people right now that we've already kind of confirmed at this point are now like other time travelers now, and they're all moving around and telling people things, and they're all thinking maybe like, oh, I know the secrets and I know the thing. But what is it? Martha? Right, Martha's the one asking the real questions. Why do we just have all these secrets?
Right. Yeah, that... I'm sorry,
Why
hon.
can't we just talk to each other?
That really sucks.
Yeah.
And I know that, the fictional relationships, not communicating, that's part of the whole part and parcel.
Yeah, it's peanut butter and jelly.
Right, because yes, that would be kind of crazy to be like, how do I tell this girl that I like that she's my aunt and, time travel and all that stuff. But, would you rather...
Life
good luck, Jonas.
finds a way.
And good luck, Ulrich, because you might be about to be arrested and, forever in the 50s.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes.
You just tried to kill a kid.
Totally fine. Yeah. But y'all, season 1 finale. Let's get into this.
Let's see what we got.
The day of Miko's disappearance.
Oh, okay.
Well. Hi. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Are you getting your alibi? Or... Not going in.
Okay.
Well.
All right.
Where were you that night?
Well, or why were you there?
Fun.
Oh, it does match the layout of the room.
Does, yep. So they just tore everything down in between then?
Dich ändern kann und die Weisheit des meine vom anderen zu unterscheiden. Gott gibt mir die Gelassenheit, Dinge hinzunehmen, die ich nicht ändern kann. Den Mut, Dinge zu ändern, die ich ändern kann.
What?
Oh my God!
What?
It worked. It worked. It worked, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And it was specific. Probably because he's here.
Well, right,
Or
exactly.
someone knew he would be here.
Well, no. It's because this is where the experiment happened just 33 years ago.
Well, no, I meant, but this point in time, my dude. Why is he here now? Ja.
Es Peter. Es gibt hier was du sehen solltest.
Oh.
Right, so that's why they were there
Es geht
together.
deinen Sohn.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's just...
Mats.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Wie ist es?
Yeah, and this is how you don't need to worry about whether they'll believe it. It's it's impossible.
Yeah.
Zieh ich einfach da.
Gotcha. And so that's why they come back here, because they're waiting to see if something else happens.
Okay, and again, limited by 33 years. So even a tear in space caused by potentially a chair or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. She's like, I'm just in time.
Peter. Es gibt eine Menge, dass ich euch...
Oh my God.
Vorher müssen wir Mats an den Ort bringen, wo er gefunden werden soll.
Oh my gosh!
Sonst bleibt nicht viel Zeit.
This is the
That is
season
so
1
wild.
finale?
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna have 2 more seasons after this?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, but it's season 1. You can't say that yet. No.
Whoa.
No.
Oh.
Man, I'm sorry, dude.
Just like the first episode, the way he woke up, the dream.
Alles gut. Alles gut.
All right. Yeah, he's still gone.
War mein Kollege Ulrich Nielsen wieder hier? Nein. Also nicht, dass ich wüsste. Nur am Samstag, als er Herrn Doppler so attackiert hat. Als hätte ihr Schwiegervater was mit der Sache zu tun.
Yeah. Maybe you should go investigate that again, you know? All right. Okay. Chilling in the 80s, sleeping here. He could also be like, as long as I tell certain people certain things, that's all I need to do. I don't need to be direct,
Sure.
you know?
Wusste was.
Whoa!
Der Junge aus der Zukunft.
Mm-hmm.
Du wusstest es.
Yep, she did.
Eigentlich wusste ich es schon immer.
Yeah.
Als dein Vater zu mir kam, war er ein kleiner, verstörter Junge. Ich dachte einfach nur, dass er zu viel Fantasie hat. Dass ihm etwas Schlimmes passiert ist, das er nicht aushalten konnte.
So he made up this, story.
Right.
Yeah.
Kommt aus der Zukunft. Ich habe ihm nicht geglaubt.
I love this. Just pure honesty.
Bin ich verhindert.
Ich wusste nicht, dass er sich das Leben nimmt.
Aber du hättest Mikkel retten können.
Ich habe jetzt noch eine Oma und die ist Direktorin an meiner Schule.
Ihr Mann, der nebenbei meine Mutter fickt, sucht seinen Sohn, der mein Vater ist.
Yep.
Vor ein paar Tagen habe ich meine Tante geküsst.
Right.
Und das Krasse ist, was da schief läuft, das sind nicht die.
Yeah.
Die sind okay. Was da schief läuft, bin ich.
Oh.
I shouldn't exist.
Oh.
Wer sind wir, Gott zu spielen? Die Vergangenheit ist die Vergangenheit. Aber du lebst im Jetzt.
Yeah, you're here now. It's gonna be okay.
Weißt, was die Zukunft bringt.
Ich will einfach nur, dass alles wieder normal ist.
Wow. It's a pretty strong motivation. Could be what your actual future self wants too.
Yeah.
Du hast du den gleichen Traum?
Ja, aber das, was ich zaubern will, ist unmöglich.
Und was soll das sein?
Endlich aufzuwachen.
Oh.
Ein Mensch oder ein Schmetterling?
Butterfly.
Vielleicht bin ich beides.
Yep. Yep. The butterfly effect and the, you know...
Blick in die Kamera.
Yeah, the look.
Ich kann ändern, dass das alles passiert, aber dafür muss ich raus hier.
Blick in die Kamera.
Bitte, Blick in die Kamera.
Sie wissen, was man hier mit Kindermördern macht.
Du dummes, dämliches Arschloch.
Oh.
Dein Horizont ist genauso klein wie diese Scheißstadt.
Is he gonna get chaired?
Maybe.
Or is he just gonna get locked away for life?
Nachdem deine Frau dich verlassen hat und du gemerkt hast, wie jämmerlich und erbärmlich du bist.
Damn!
Oh my god!
Oh my god. That must feel so vindicating, though, since he, like, was always like, oh, I know you're terrible, you know, and then he gets to go back and be like, you turn into a...
Lügen, mit meiner Freundin rummachen, du bist ein krankes Stück Scheiße. Genau wie dein Vater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, are we continuing the conversation?
Hi.
Or is this before that?
Did you finish it?
Sie haben ihn repariert.
Ja.
Das ist Ihrer. Das ist meiner. Vor vielen Jahren gebaut. Es ist derselbe Apparat, nur nicht im gleichen Zustand.
Wild.
Könnte man den Beginn und das Ende einer Sache
Ja.
gleichzeitig betrachten?
Ja.
Und warten Sie. Schauen Sie sich das mal an. Dieser Block hier hat sich nie gedreht. Er war in den Bauplänen, aber ich wusste nie wofür. Kommuniziert mit dem Apparat.
Wild.
Nicht nur die Vergangenheit beeinflusst die Zukunft. Auch die Zukunft beeinflusst die Vergangenheit.
Right. Okay.
Gezeigt, wie der Apparat in der Zukunft aussieht. Hätte ich ihn nicht so bauen können. Ein Paradoxon.
Yep. Complete paradox, right? Unless...
137 CS. Ein radioaktives Isotop von Cäsium.
Cesium is not an element, so as far as I know...
Mit dem Störfall im AKW passiert sein.
Warum haben Sie sich entschlossen, mir doch zu helfen?
Warum? Warum entscheiden wir uns für das eine und gegen das andere?
Do we have free will at all?
Warten Sie mehr, wie es ist in der Zukunft?
Ich hoffe, morgen schon anders als heute.
All right. Cool.
Whoa.
Well, I
He's
get the
a
feeling
quit.
that's not going to work because this is season 1.
Well, right,
So-
but if he has two instances of you... Okay.
Im Herbst 53.
53. Vor genau 66 Jahren.
Yeah.
2 mal 33. Das hängt alles zusammen.
Hör zu, Charlotte, ich muss mit dir reden.
Später, okay? Ich muss los.
He's actually
like she's on the trail. He knows that
he can help her, but
yeah,
that's when you call her again, dude.
yeah, and you say it's about that.
Yeah, but it might be too late.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boja.
Kann ich Ihnen helfen?
Whoa.
Okay.
Nutzt sich aus. Alles, was er verspricht, sind Lügen. Ich glaube, Sie verwechseln mich.
Take off the hat. Show him.
Ja, Sie verwechseln mich.
Yeah.
Das habe ich schon mal gesagt. Alles, was Noah sagt, ist eine Lüge. Er ist nicht auserwählt. Du bist nicht auserwählt. Heute ist der Tag, der Anfang und das Ende. Mach nicht dieselben Fehler wie ich. Mach nicht dieselben Fehler wie ich. aufhören? Du musst aufhören!
Oh! Yeah. He felt those scars. He's probably been feeling those scars ever since that day. Was that someone behind him? Okay, no, that was just... All right.
Wow. Woo. Well, everyone's starting to take their little steps now to change.
Yeah.
And others are getting further locked into the prison of all this. Yeah, you have to face it. You have to stare it down.
Prügelt.
Was? Mit wem denn?
Das ist nicht so wichtig.
Wie, das ist nicht so wichtig.
Alles wird gut.
Wow. Fun.
Is this goodbye?
Ich habe noch was in der Schule vergessen. Mach dir keine Sorgen, es wird alles gut, Mama.
Yep. This is goodbye.
Ein paar Stunden, dann ist es vorbei. Mats wird leben.
Glaubst du ihr?
Oh.
Alles, was sie gesagt hat, ist in den letzten 8 Tagen passiert. Genauso, wie es hier steht.
Whoa. Wait. And in a few hours it'll be over.
Because Helga will die. The kid, him, will just die in the...
Nach heute ist alles neu.
Whoa.
Because just because he woke up doesn't mean he'll be able to get out of there, you know?
Yeah, this is the end of Helga.
Will jede Lüge dem Schmerz vorziehen.
Yeah, he's the friend of Noah.
Ich war noch ein kleiner Junge. Kam ein Fremder zu uns. Er sah aus, als wäre er im Krieg gewesen. Hat nicht viel gesprochen. In seinen Augen war diese Traurigkeit.
Wow. Wow.
Ist umsonst. Kein Atemzug. Kein Schritt. Kein Wort. Kein Schmerz. Später, als der Schmerz zu mir kam, da habe ich verstanden, was er meinte. Dass nichts von den grauenvollen Dingen, die uns widerfahren, umsonst sein soll. Dass sie uns zu dem machen, was wir sind.
Okay.
Dass aus ihnen all unsere Kraft entsteht.
Yeah, it all compounds, it builds.
Eine Macht mehr über dich.
Wer ist der Nächste?
The
Oh
what?
my god.
Oh no!
Weit.
But wait a minute. But in that time, he hasn't been born yet, so he'll have to go to the future. But he just left that future, assuming they're concurrent, so he won't find him.
Er ist zu Hause. Da sind doch ganz viele andere Kinder. Hörst du mich?
So could the moment of Mikhail's disappearance actually been the point when he tried to get Jonas? And he actually, like, fucked it up.
Oh.
And ended up getting Mikhail instead.
Solange das Adoptionsverfahren
Das
läuft.
ist leider nicht so einfach.
Ich habe Referenzen. Ich besitze ein Haus.
Das ist ein ziemlich aufwendiges Verfahren.
Ich weiß. Das erscheint jetzt irgendwie vielleicht unüberlegt.
Yeah.
Aber das ist es nicht.
I can do it.
Welcher Tag ist heute?
Whoa. Okay.
All right.
Whoa.
Der 12.
Ich meine, welches Jahr?
86.
Yeah.
She's gonna remember that.
Was machst du hier?
Ich hole jemanden zurück von den Toten.
Wie soll das gehen?
Das ist sehr kompliziert zu erklären.
But he's gonna be there. He's gonna get there just a little bit too late.
Dann sind sie doch noch gar nicht tot.
Das ändert aber nichts daran, dass sie einmal sterben werden.
Having this temporal causal conversation.
Have we told that before?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh my god.
It all revolves around Miko.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! She's gonna find Ulrich in the past, isn't she?
November 1953. Entführung wird mit einem Unbekannten in Verbindung gebracht.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Du willst nicht reden? Ich bring dir bei zu reden.
Jeez. What? Oh my gosh! The time travelers have met now.
Uh-huh.
And he saw you coming and everything.
And now he's in the room. Oh my god.
Well, it's fun because we know he gets out of this.
Right, well.
Because of future Jonas.
Du brauchst keine Angst zu haben.
Hey!
Wow!
Ah! He's saving himself. Yeah.
Eingesperrt!
Das war nicht ich.
Ja.
Das war Noah.
Wer ist Noah? Wo bin ich? Was ist das hier?
Das hier ist eine Art Prototyp einer Zeitmaschine.
Okay.
Und du bist das Versuchskaninchen.
They were gonna experiment on him, yeah.
Unter diesem Bunker. Steht sie offen, läuft die Energie durch diesen Raum. Aber man muss sie
verstehen.
Okay.
Kein DeLorean.
So, yeah, no, DeLorean.
Die Maschine ist ein Bunker mit 4 Wänden. Allerdings funktioniert sie noch nicht ganz.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
The first one, but there's gonna be more.
Wer sind Sie?
I'm you.
Weißt du das nicht?
Yeah, you don't know yet?
Brief.
Right.
Du hast ihn verbrannt.
Aha.
Und trotzdem existiert er noch. Du wirst diesen Brief fast 33 Jahre bei dir tragen, bevor du ihn weitergeben wirst.
Oh.
Dich selbst.
Ja.
Ich bin du.
I can't save you here.
Das kann was.
But
ich habe dir diesen Brief geschickt.
I'm maybe gonna give you some very important information.
Yeah.
Alles, was du erlebst, habe ich bereits erlebt.
You're going to get through this.
Diesen Brief verbrannt genauso wie du und habe ihn von unserer Großmutter wiederbekommen. Ich habe sogar dieses Gespräch hier schon mal geführt, nur war ich damals auf der anderen Seite. Wir denken, wir sind frei, aber wir folgen dem immer gleichen Pfad. Wieder und wieder und wieder.
Das ist verrückt! Das macht überhaupt gar keinen Sinn!
Yeah, I can't change anything, but...
Jetzt entscheiden, mich hier freizulassen! Los, lass mich raus!
Ich habe lange gedacht, das ist verrückt. Ich bin verrückt. Aber ich kann dich nicht hier rauslassen, weil du dann nicht zu dem wirst, was ich...
Aha.
Jetzt meine Vergangenheit verändere ich auch meine Gegenwart. Und dann kann ich dieses Loch nicht ein für alle Mal zerstören. Warum hast du Martha geküsst? Wir sind nicht frei in dem, was wir tun. Weil wir nicht frei sind in dem, was wir wollen.
Wow.
Warte. Hey! Hey! Stopp! Hey!
Oh, the stress would mount up like, a mountain.
Is he gonna go around and get him out? He's gonna be like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I have to stop it. He's gonna turn around. Yeah! Do it! You could do it! Oh, no. Okay, shit. Okay. Oh! Helga cannot catch a break.
How many time travelers have tried to kill Helga at this point? Well, they felt the crash. They saw the crash coming, so they're probably even worse for wear, whoever's in there.
Unless there's no one in there. They just put a brick on the gas, you know?
No. The time would be... Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
The pain makes who you are, right, Helga? Oh my gosh. She's scoping it all out. Yeah. Go!
Come on!
Ich findet alles seinen Anfang.
Okay, what do they talk about?
Der Jonas wird das Loch zerstören, aber...
But...
Sie haben in seiner nutzlosen Maschine ist nicht dafür da, das Loch für immer zu vernichten. Es ist dafür da, es überhaupt erst entstehen zu lassen. Er denkt, er sei der Erlöser. Aber glaubt, er hat ihn belogen. Die meisten Menschen sind nur Bauern auf einem Schachbrett.
Oh. And the picture of Noah in the newspaper clipping right next to them.
Ewigen Krieg zwischen Gut und Böse. Da draußen gibt es zwei Gruppen, die um die Vorherrschaft...
Right. Okay.
Wenn wir in der Zeitschleife sind, müssen wir Wissenden dafür sorgen, dass jeder Schritt genauso getan wird wie zuvor. Egal wie unmenschlich er uns erscheint. Welche Opfer er auch...
Damn.
Ja. Wirklich unmenschlich, das sind die anderen.
This is such a cool side of him.
Ich denke, er wird alles verändern. Dabei ist er nichts als ihre Marionette. Es ist soweit.
Okay, so he goes here.
But the thing is, this is the broken and now repaired machine.
Right.
So I get the feeling this isn't the first time he's tried it, because otherwise why was it broken?
No, it's probably the thing is that it keeps getting worse. Well, no, actually,
Because it's not the same, or it's the same machine, but the one that he gets is the one in the past.
No, I think it's just that he's... It could be just as simple as what Noah is saying, is that he's creating a paradox.
Sure. If I were you, I might get out of the tunnel. Because if you're actually going to change things...
Wow. Still seeing Mikkel. Oh.
For me.
Bringing her into the fold.
For me.
Wait!
No way. As it connects to the smartphone.
Yeah.
Across time and...
Well, it's...
I started.
Because in 2019, is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's
it is,
1986. Because that's where he just encountered Jonas.
As always, merciless.
That's fun to show that it's connected across all of time. Because all those points are being locked in.
Yeah.
A quiet life.
Oh my gosh. Oh, no way.
my God.
Well, we've got our wormhole here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recreate the iconic art piece.
Mm-hmm. And now is he in the room?
They trade spaces. Oh my gosh. Wait.
So that's
now we're in 2019.
Oh.
So
well.
Wait. Hold on. No.
We might not be.
We're at the beginning of the show. What is going on outside?
Post Chernobyl style incident, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, that char. Is this our 2052?
I think so. Whoa.
Runter auf den Boden!
Yeah, why would you be wearing yellow right now? That was big.
In der Zukunft.
Nice. Cool! Oh! Wow!
That was so good.
I actually am really... Oh, I'm feeling relieved because this episode, as far as scope-wise, was much narrower than the previous episode. Oh, I feel like I can kind of grasp this episode a little bit.
Okay.
The season 1 finale.
Yeah, that was
Alpha
a great finale.
and the Omega. We have people talking of chosen ones and paradoxes and I don't know. This episode kind of made sense, actually.
It very much made sense.
Despite all the crazy stuff being talked about.
There was a whole bunch of crazy stuff that was talked about. And with Noah's at least understanding of the situation, even though that might not be all that it is. We also kind of get our explanation of what the whole deal with the time travel is, right? Yes, it is a thing where the actions of the things that you do in the future are what have already affected the past.
Yes.
And then, yes, it's a paradox as far as how it starts in the first place. There's this whole thing of Jonas, but, that's with a machine that was given with people with knowledge from the future and all that stuff. And, it's a whole thing. But that the machine doesn't actually stop it entirely. It basically just makes it, but then probably stops it for a little bit. And then that's why then there's the whole thing with Mikkel later. And then sort of kicks it all off again. Okay.
Right. So what I think we're immediately setting up here as a nice kind of end point for the season is that we have now a clear conflict. We have those wanting to keep things the way they are and those wanting to change things.
Right.
As Noah very aptly puts, almost talking directly to the audience in his way to Bartosz, that there are two sides warring over time travel.
Right.
And regardless of his interpretation of things here, we have very little reason to doubt his belief in this interpretation, at the very least.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether he's absolutely up his nutter with regards to thinking that he's on the side of light or what have you.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't matter, because right now, there are very clearly two sides, at the very least two main time travelers here, who are at play, aware of each other, and moving things into position so that they can then decide how to use the tunnels, the energy released from the gates at those points through the tunnels within then the connection that goes to the bunker. There's a lot of really fun stuff in there in that it is all one singular point, but it's the at what points in time has it been mucked with? Has it been interacted with? Has it then created
Right.
and spiraled out into all these different loops, circles, figure eights, and what have you?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's the show. That's the show. In a lot of ways, it took us an entire season to introduce us to the show proper, it feels like.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's also where we get the future, because of course, and the
Of
fact that they
course.
don't say 2052 or whatever, but they're like, welcome to the future.
Now,
That's very fun.
Yeah, because I think that what they want to do is to give the audience that speculation room.
Right,
To
exactly.
be like, wait, is this like proof that things changed?
Right. Is this showing that the people in the future know about time travel? And they're like, oh, yeah, that was the whole thing that fucked up a bunch of stuff way back when. And
I'm guessing
we thought
yes.
we dealt with that, you know?
I'm guessing yes.
Sure.
I would say, in general, the idea of people showing up in what's probably 52 with a very clear, like, oh, yeah, this is the place where the stupid time travelers end up eventually, and we have to deal with them.
That's why this is a wasteland, you know?
Well, yes, because y'all fuck things up, you know, at some point. They might not know exactly who did it.
Right.
But the idea that they then have one or more people, one of them probably being Noah, that they then send back, kind of like literally John Connor from Terminator, to be like, go save the future.
Right.
Go, like...
Or at the very least, stop people from mucking it up further. We have enough to deal with right now.
Right. But
yeah,
I loved that talk because Noah talks about how a young man basically came to live with him.
Right.
And it was like someone that
had been through
a war.
Right.
I do want to bring something up though, because I feel like Noah is kind of the one that gives us the most info this episode. There's a part where when he says that and he's talking to Bartosz, it kind of felt like he was kind of lamenting the war here, but he's also got this like...
Well, yeah, so there's the two sides of it,
I don't know,
right?
what are your reads on him as a person after this scene?
So, Noah is clearly very egotistical in that he's like, I have the arrogance to say I'm going to fix time, right? Or set it the way I want it to be, right?
Yes.
So when he's talking to
Bartosz.
I almost said Noah, to Bartosz, that's with a level of confidence and, you know, assuredness in himself and his own convictions, right? Because that's why he's doing it. And so in that realm, it's not an inherent deception because he does believe it, right? He's trying to manipulate him to do what he wants, but he does have that conviction.
He was talking to Helga in the 80s when he was talking about the boy that visited him.
At the same time, he is absolutely trying to manipulate Bartosz. Now, if he is himself, then maybe there's less of that. But I think it's something where he is definitely less manipulative with Bartosz than he is with Helga, right? With Helga, it's very like direct,
right?
You know, it's I need you to do what I want you to do. Which the fact that he has the book and everything, and then he gives it to Bartosz, who may or may not be himself, with the whole thing of the letter and all that stuff. But then how did he get it? Originally,
I think there's a couple things that we can imply here, and the book is Claudia's,
right?
But the part that is where Noah said some things when he was talking to Helga that are a little fucky to me.
Okay.
I think he's in the Claudia Tiedemann line from a family perspective, which would potentially make him be Bartosz. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's now even more so a potential thing here. But he said he looked as if he'd been in the war. He's talking about this in 86.
Right.
When you say the war, there's only one war that
you're referencing.
Right? So what he's basically saying is, when I was a little boy, that would have been closer to the 50s.
Sure.
Then
right. So he's
assuming the connection with Helga but that would have been, at that point there.
Assuming that he didn't go back in time, and then actually be married to what's her face for 15 years and all that stuff. Assuming that's not the case, right? Assuming, because it's either the story of something that he actually lived through with the whole deal with Agnes, or it's he's altering his story to make it fit within what he's presenting himself
Yes,
as.
but who is he talking to?
Another person that time travels.
Yeah.
Okay,
so why does he need to potentially lie about this?
Yeah, no, okay, that's a good point.
So this is the part where I think Noah, in this episode, was the most honest he's ever been in the whole dang show.
Sure.
And I'm getting the vibe more and more that actually he's been relatively honest this whole time. He is manipulative for sure.
Yes.
But he uses the truth to manipulate.
Right.
And I think that obviously with belief you can twist what you believe to be the truth to what you want.
Right.
But the idea that he said in the 80s, oh, it looked like he's been in the war. I am now not as sure about when Noah is from.
Okay.
I want to just throw that out there that I thought he was from the future the whole time. There's a lot of things that would line up with that. There's a lot of things specifically with regards to Claudia being his antagonist from his perspective that makes sense that she would be in his family line somewhere. Probably that he's either Bartosz or he's just at the very least related to Bartosz, and that's why he's able to, insert himself into Bartosz's present, past, or whatever you want to call it, with kind of foreknowledge. But he talks about this person who, to me, reminds me of either Jonas or Mikkel. Either one necessarily. But the idea of him giving these confused words of he stood there in the hallway with his eyes wide open and said, nothing is in vain. Not the pain, not a single step, not a single word, an eternal miracle of the one. And basically, in this moment, we see almost genuine almost tears well up in Noah's eyes. In that it was I didn't then understand any of his words. Now, obviously, this was a time traveler we're talking about. I don't know when this happened necessarily, but there are some hints, I think, with regards to talking about the war and stuff like that and him being a kid. So I am fascinated with regards to the Noah that believes himself to be the hero of time going and potentially saving the world, being the eternal miracle of the one and the chosen one and all that shit. Because if Jonas was wrong and ended up indirectly creating the paradox, Noah can still be right in that he's trying to stop Jonas, who is a poor, foolish child blundering about with power he doesn't understand, misguided and stuff. But that not necessarily that he's some, good person either that isn't also potentially beset by...
kidnapping children and experimenting on them.
Well, just the idea that he's beset with someone who gave him his beginning. The idea that even Noah, this time-traveling antagonist as far as we go with things with Jonas, just because, well, in a lot of ways we were introduced to some of these characters first. We're in a time travel story. The first characters is completely up in the air.
Oh, no, yeah. That's entirely a narrative thing, not a
hard...
Right, exactly.
Literal thing.
Just like the fact that Ulrich ends up going back and trying to kill Helga.
Yes.
It's we get to see someone turn into a bad guy but we see them before they're the bad guy and the bad thing that they did already happened, Yeah.
In some ways, Hannah was another example of that this season. We got to see in a lot of ways that she was always a monster, like from a long time ago.
Yeah, or at the very least, there was a very critical juncture where she makes a decision and then it's all downhill from there.
Right, and then you could say, wait, so then all the other stuff after that weren't decisions?
Well, or at the very least, decisions that, and this is where I feel like, weirdly enough, Noah's own perspective is actually very important to have.
Yes.
Because if you stop believing, it's not a high bar.
No.
But, because plenty of people do heinous things believing that they're the good guy.
Right.
But if you don't even have that,
Yes.
then basically it will beget itself, right? It's
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. Like, Hannah, lying like she did when she's a kid. Hey, you're a little kid, right? You do something that's...
She's a teenager, but
well, okay, sure. But you do something horrible, right? That doesn't mean that you have to be horrible for the rest of your life or whatever and all that stuff, right? But then, it's that maybe opens the door of I'll do whatever in order to get what I want.
Sure.
And then you just sort of keep doing that stuff, and then it's all right, how can I manipulate the people? How can I do all
you're
these
absolutely
things?
right. But what made her make that decision in the first place? A bunch of other people have like opportunities to make horrible decisions and don't necessarily.
No, right. And that's why I'm saying the perspective that Noah having of, I am the person who's going to fix things, or I am at the very least a good person.
Or I have a noble goal, albeit myself one of those who must delve into the darkness.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, he's rationalized his own darkness, if that makes sense.
But at the very least, within himself, he does believe that he's doing something good.
Yeah. So he brings up also it's unfortunate, but everyone here, most people at the very least, are nothing but pawns on a chessboard. And I actually got a really creepy vibe from this, in that if Claudia, being one of the oldest characters that we've ever seen, a character that we've seen at a point that's really old, is in some ways an opposite to Noah from his perspective. You could also say that it's that she's actually more similar to an anti-Helga, in that Helga was beset by somebody. But Claudia is someone who's actually actively using things.
Sure, and that's where in that sense, Helga and Jonas are probably a lot more accurate parallels maybe, and then Claudia and Noah more accurate parallels.
Right. And if they're both people that basically have lived the large gamut of this period of time, because of either living quite a large amount of time by just
or hopping around,
they would then have the perspective to see who are those that are pawns and who are those that are PCs. This
Which
feels
is such a
no, but this is where it gets really dark. This is where it gets really dark.
People as things.
Well, no, totally. But I'm saying that if we're in a world where time travel has spiraled about to the point that Jonas is I am not going to try and change anything except the source. I'm just going to go to the source and I'm going to blow it up. He creates a black hole bomb, basically. It does not work. It actually feeds into this infinite loop paradox where it's the end and it's the beginning, but for maybe at a different point in time. Maybe the end of the stuff and everything is at a point in time here, but at another point of time
it's the beginning.
It's the beginning. It
because
pops up.
Right, because if he...
And that might be why there's a 33-year cycle, actually, if anything.
And here's a fun way to think about it, right?
Yeah.
So the machine works. It ends the time thing here.
Right.
But the problem is it's something that has an effect across multiple points in time.
Yeah.
And so, great, you stopped it here, but over here there isn't something happening there, and so then it creates it there. And so,
and this can all be within the same timeline universe and what have you.
Well, kind of. Because there's still
that's where it gets fucky.
And that's where the show kind of acknowledges, hey, we're dealing with a paradox here. Yes, it's a paradox.
As far as they understand it.
As far as they understand it, right. And they could have, the
story's not over yet.
Understandings of things, but the fact that, you have someone who basically says, here's a way to build a time machine because I'm from the future, that inherently can't work.
Well,
right?
as far as we know.
Well, it can't, it can't work if you're dealing with the static timeline thing without it being a paradox. If you are dealing with something where the past can be changed, and it's not just Ulrich kills Helga and then Helga's dead and it's all different, then that works. But if you don't have that, then it doesn't. Because then it's a paradox.
I'm totally with you. But I feel like this is season 1.
Right.
We're at that point in the show where we're having our fundamental foundations of the story and the characters with regards to free will and all of that challenged.
Oh, yeah.
And yet we then got another point in the timeline of importance here.
Right.
The future. Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
Season 2, at the very least, will then explore the relation between probably 2052 and the points in the past.
Right.
If that's the thing that they can explore, and if that's where Noah is from, then it makes sense that this is where Noah upgrades from being an antagonist to being a very complicated other main character in the story.
Right, yes.
Like, not just an antagonist, but somebody who is a force moving things.
Oh, and also the whole perspective that Noah has of being like, I know how this works. Of course he's going to have that because this is season 1. If he got completely ousted here, then he wouldn't really be the main antagonist for the series probably. And, and so as both we, the audience, and also the characters within the show get closer and closer to the bounds of what they understand, right? The conclusion of the story will probably be past that because then that's when change actually happens for the characters and all of it. And that's also where then maybe Noah can be defeated because then, he realizes the point where, oh, no, I was wrong. There is something I didn't account for or whatever.
Because a time traveler clearly came to him as a child before he was a time traveler.
Right, exactly.
And either tried to reach him, tried to connect with him, was themselves trying to warn him. Who knows?
Yeah. Help me get back to my time. Oh, okay, cool. And then that's when Noah discovers that time travel's a thing.
Yeah.
And that sets him on his whole thing.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that they're doing there, but we are at a point now where the story has kind of acknowledged the origins of these characters are almost entirely looped into their end.
Right, because if Jonas only exists because Mikael went back in time, Jonas, that's how deep the paradox goes.
Yes.
Jonas can't be the one who starts it because he wasn't supposed to exist without the time travel. Right.
Which then from...
unless you're dealing with the static thing and you just acknowledge paradox.
But from Noah's perspective, and this is where I don't want to go hard in on Noah's from the future.
Okay.
Is that Noah is seeing the people as pawns on a chessboard. Which is basically like saying, hey, there's white pieces and then there's the black pieces. We are all on a chessboard here.
Right.
But most of us here aren't actually moving the pieces. We don't have free will. There are those, an unseen guiding hand that is moving things. Which from Jonas's perspective, who he's mocking the most here, he's basically saying, unfortunately for poor Jonas, he's a pawn.
Right.
And he doesn't know entirely that Claudia is the hand moving things, but he knows that Claudia's the one, at the very least, on the next chain of the daisy chain, moving Jonas in some way here.
Sure, because if you are looking at everything from that zoomed out perspective, everyone's just pieces. It might look like free will, all that stuff, but at the end of the day, Jonas, when he's talking to his future self, he's like, just get me out of here. He's like, no, right. I also was thinking the same thing when I was you.
Yeah.
And I thought that for a very long time. And then eventually I realized why I can't.
Which again, this is so cool because all of that stuff with Jonas seems just to be tests to see if he can change himself, like potentially just by giving that little bit of... Because originally he's going back to himself to give him a bit of a message and stuff like that to try and have a conversation.
Right. There are...
it informs himself. It informs himself.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like if you think about it, it's what's the point of going there? It's to talk to yourself and be like, hey, it's all right.
Right. So either we have pure paradox.
Right. Or why did he know to go back to him to stop him from talking to Mikael and getting him back if that doesn't even work in the first place?
And this is where I feel like the show kind of acknowledging at this point by the characters and their limited perspective that it's a paradox, that it's not. Because we are at the beginning of the end of the show, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so the characters will unveil over 100%. The course of this series that it's not a paradox.
And that's,
that there is there is specifically a hand, yes, but it's something where this whole messed up everything had a beginning, and it has an end, and it has a story, and it's being told,
and that's why. So if I seemed kind of like off my rocker in the discussion of episode 8, when they have Ulrich go kill Helga, and then you attacked him, and that's how it always was, of me thinking no, it's not actually a set in stone thing, is because I think it's that. Right, and that the characters will have a certain perspective. That's what they'll think it is, and all that stuff. And that might be still kind of how it works as an emergent property rather than an inherent one.
Yeah.
But then, as a result, we're of going through the show and all that stuff, we're going to get to that end point, and it's not just going to be we've been slowly unveiling the mystery, but like stuff is actually happening.
Right, and that's probably the part that's so chilling for me about Noah's little speech here is. He's basically looking at the fruits of so much time travel that everyone around him and all these people, this is why I don't think he's necessarily from the future.
Okay.
Because then he himself would probably be also someone that wasn't supposed to exist.
Sure. I mean, there's a different kind of like Machiavellian control freak that comes into play if he's from the past, and it's I need to make sure that everything after me goes a certain way in order for it to be right, as opposed to I want to set myself up or or whatever.
Well,
right?
It's okay, maybe, but I think it's more that he either time traveled really young, and he didn't understand it, and he doesn't know what that was, but then he just had to grow up in that time, in that place, or what have you, and figure things out.
Yeah, sort of a Mikhail situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we're headed into it's not that there's a temporal loop or there's a paradox. It's the full casserole. It's like 27 different things there, but it's characters that are the actual ones that like are a part of the original everything before we entered the paradoxes and everything like that, started a series of all this stuff that then propagated out like an entire world mess to go into. And just if they have memory of that time, of that point before things went that mad, because they're from the beginning, it then becomes something where things like a notebook or a story or a thing that you could pass down to the future generations, if you will, to those that don't know yet, you could give them the keys to stopping the cycle.
Right. Yeah. And I think the thing that is the most like supporting of that is two things: the existence of the construction within the tunnels. And the one picture that we saw in the hospital.
Right.
Now, granted, that's probably setting up future season stuff where they go even before 53.
Oh, they're definitely going to go before 53, yes.
Like the whole, who is Agnes Nielsen's grandmother and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
But the idea of constructed tunnels in the time place inherently means that it can't be a thing where Jonas's actions created the time travel.
No.
Like, it can't.
No.
Right? Like, there had to have been something there originally that then gets discovered and all that stuff, right? Well, or...
No.
No, okay. No, if they're fully embracing the paradox thing, then sure, theoretically. And then it just creates it, and it is, it's not just the 100 years that we've basically embraced, right? Jonas can go to the future. It could go way far back. People end up discovering it, and, it becomes a whole thing that people then make the tunnels and carve them and put the writing in and all that stuff. But
another crazy thing, another really crazy thing, is this is the part where I get kind of freaked out by what Jonas and Helga's touch through the Higgs boson portal wormhole thing is that was not the caves.
Correct.
But
it was above the caves.
Oh, yeah, it was above it. Yeah. But the idea then that the theoretical many gates or black holes within black holes or within black holes or what have you, or portals within portals or what have you that was going on here, that was probably more like close to what the first kind of instance of time travel was basically 2 points being linked, like 2 points in space-time. Because the second you go back and you actually change things and you go full paradox or what have you there, you have changed everything.
Right. And that's where I end up having a lot more time travel shows are starting to do the past is the past, it's all fixed. The time travel was already happening. The fact that you should be over here.
When did it get invented? It's irrelevant. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, not even that, but just it's always been there. You know, right? Like that sort of a deal.
Yeah.
I think it's
right because it stretches our bound of causal understanding of.
Well, yes, but I think it's also a lot cleaner to do narratively.
But
then you still end up getting into the situation of agency of people and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's
and so I think that's where the themes come back in, and that the characters are trapped. The people on different sides here all want the same thing, and they want characters to be free. They want characters to go back to that point where freedom was there. The way that they get about it, or the methods of, I'm trying to change the past, or I'm trying to keep things static and stop having things move, you know?
Wait, maybe that's where we can see the Noah's understanding where it's going to unravel.
Like the genesis or the end
of
it. Yeah.
Because he has the audacity to say that the rift in time began.
Right. And that's why I'm saying he's not necessarily from the future, because if he's from the past, he might have actual memory of the first time.
Oh, because he's from outside of the loop?
Exactly. Yeah.
But then I feel like then he wouldn't. I don't know. We'll
that's
see.
the thing. How does memory affect these people here?
Well, that's the other. That's the other way in which having time be static is a lot more convenient for narrative, because you don't have to worry about people's memories being overwritten, right? Because everything that's happening, it's all happening, it's all happened, it's all the thing. And then it's just whether you broke the rules and basically skipped over to here doesn't matter, because that's always what happened, and so then you're not changing anything, and so people don't lose.
Well, right, because every person themselves has their own linear path through time.
Right.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah, it's normally it's a linear path through time.
I mean, they age. No,
sure. Yeah, exactly.
We don't have any weird immortal beings floating around in this
Which
world
maybe that's
yet.
the whole reason for why it's called space-time.
Okay, before we get into completely are you serious? Would you want to go down this?
Well, okay. More as just a personal thing for myself.
Okay, cool. So let's get back to the episode.
Yeah.
This is some really cool stuff, but that was basically all we wanted to get into with Noah here. But the device was then taken to the actual gate here.
Yep.
Given that it is also the fixed version of the old one. Right?
Yep.
But the reason, I believe he ends up taking the one that was fixed. He doesn't take the first one.
Correct.
Because that would cause a paradox, or I don't know, change things, or whatever Jonas believes the rules are.
Yeah.
But he ends up taking and adding in the cesium in order to make it basically be able to work to generate.
Oh, sure. And so that's probably why it broke the first time, is because he tried to do it with a component missing, and the machine fried, basically.
Maybe. Or isn't it potentially more likely that he's operating post, because if there's a true loop here, if there's a true potential Mobius strip figure 8 paradox going on
right,
then he's using the broken one because it's from after he used it to start the loop, which ends up creating the whole thing there.
Yeah, we could get something where Noah's like, haha, he's actually creating it. Yes, he is. But the thing that we're actually seeing that we don't follow up on in this episode is that then he takes the fixed one after he started it, and then he does it again, and that ends it. Because if you have the thing, because then if you take it to the same point in time and you do it, then it'll just do the same effect, right?
Possibly. The part that I think he could be even doing here, and this could be where he actually is under the effect of someone else telling him this is the way to do things, is that, do you think both times he did this in 86?
No, I mean, not really.
So
the 86, the time that he decides, well, it's irrelevant. It feels kind of arbitrary.
Well, it might not be.
Okay.
That might be where things are kind of fucky and trapped, is that there's another point when he did this the first time, whatever.
Okay.
That might be at a different point in the timeline, and it's creating this, I don't know, feedback loop or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We will see. This was a fantastic finale. It gave us more stuff of what we want. It kept us very much guessing as far as the next season, so we have plenty to look forward to, and there's plenty of tension there.
It resolved a lot of characters' arcs over the course of this season.
Yep, the whole Helga stuff was fantastic. Yeah. Man, that dude cannot catch a break. This is why you need good, supportive people in your life, and to be very careful who you open up to, and also maybe open up to multiple people so that way if one of them is a monster, someone else can be like, no, that's super messed up.
That's absolutely crazy,
Yeah. Charlotte knows about time travel officially
Charlotte
now, because she has a picture on the old like slide things of Ulrich in the 50s.
And she encountered Jonas as well in the 80s as well.
Right.
In the forest there, which is crazy.
Yep.
Jonas ends up getting captured by Noah in the 80s, knew he was going to be there, which is in itself
which
a
is
very
also
fun thing.
Well, that's again one of those odd things of like where are you getting the info, but I guess if you have a notebook and we don't know who originally wrote the notebook, whether it was Claudia or Noah or Jonas, and one of them stole it, or exactly.
Yeah. But the idea of the notebook also being a collection of memories and it being relevant in that regard also hints at an origin point.
But then there also being pages that are ripped out of the one that future Jonas has. I believe it was future Jonas. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, there's some really fun stuff about whose hands have passed this book. So that's another plot point for later stuff to get into. I mean, future seasons, not necessarily later stuff here.
Hannah's got a gun, and she looked like she was preparing to use it.
Maybe
not on a person in particular at that moment, but like okay.
Yeah, we got to travel across time, seeing how this moment here affected every single point in the timeline that we've been introduced to thus far.
Right.
And it was effectively an end point in what it felt like for many of these characters here. Also, a fun little detail, but Claudia, in her aged form here, is in the, what looks to be the nuclear winter post disaster event here, 2052. So when we see her earlier in the show, she's probably time traveling, or she's time traveling here in the future. Either way, this is her base that she's been using basically to strike from.
Right. Which also would make a bunch of sense, because if this is the location where the portals end up being made, then make that your base of operation in the future, so that way, in between your time traveling, you'll be staying there and seeing, okay, cool. If somebody pops through, be like, okay, what's your deal?
Yeah. But then we have this Mad Max apocalypse crew here that, confronts Jonas. Welcome to the future.
Headbutt. Rifle stock.
With a young girl here who...
for a while, I thought it was Hannah, and that he was in an alternate 80s.
Yeah, I didn't really get that vibe, but I got the vibe that she's clearly coming from one of these families. The way that her eyes and like nose and everything, like her face is structured, it looks so dang familiar.
I
can't tell which family it is.
I feel like she has the most similarities to 80s Hannah.
She does look like Hannah. That is true. Yeah, I think it's the nose primarily for me.
No,
But also you can go by hair color a little bit to know about potential genes and stuff there. But with potentially how incestuous everything is going to be,
who's
who
to
knows?
say?
Who knows, right? But yeah, that's kind of the finale. Not as much actually to discuss because it's just
all right.
Whoa, season two is going to be
Let's go
nuts.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited.
I feel like I've been sent back in time to like early Lost, and they just opened up the hatch, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
Let's do it.
What are we gonna find?
Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about other shows in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.